Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to yet another edition of Africa's Realities. As usual, my name is Mr. Johnson Yakubu Sani, and today I'm out with another video. Today, I want to talk about this recent judgment by the Supreme Court of Nigeria, which is so disheartening. This judgment has been done in the High Court of Adamawa State, and the case was brought to the Supreme Court of Nigeria, and surprisingly, the Supreme Court upheld that kangaroo judgment. Now, what judgment am I talking about? I'm talking about the judgment against Mr. Sunday Jackson. Now, before I go further, well, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to subscribe and turn up the notification bell so that whenever I drop a video, you get to be amongst the first to watch. And I also want you to hit the like button so that this video can go far and wide. And without further ado, let's get into the topic of today. Topic about justice for Sunday Jackson.
Babu wani kama da kai, ai babu wani.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome back. Now, like I said from the beginning, I am making this video today on behalf of Mr. Sunday Jackson. Now, Mr. Sunday Jackson is a farmer. Oh, let's say was a farmer because he has been in detention or in prison for almost 10 years now. But he is a farmer who went to his farmland and he was attacked in his farmland, and he defended himself to the extent that he was able to kill his attacker. And today, the Supreme Court of Nigeria are saying that he is going to be hanged for the crime of murder. Now, before I go further, because this is what is being done against the Northern Christians of Nigeria. This thing can never happen to any other tribe of Nigeria, only on Northern Christians. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's on Northern Christians. But I want you to listen to this video. This video tells the entire story. And this is from the lawyers who fought for this man's innocence. They fought for him to be acquitted. But the Supreme Court of Nigeria has passed a judgment which can never be reverted, that this man should be killed. Now listen to these people so that you understand the story. And when we come back, I will tell you why the Northern Christian is being persecuted today by the Hausa Fulani hegemony. Let's watch this video. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion.
Now, you may not have heard of him, but Sunday Jackson, a former student in his early 30s, is facing death by hanging after Nigeria's Supreme Court today upheld the judgment of a lower court in Adamawa State. Mr. Jackson was a student turned farmer who says he was violently attacked on his farm in Kodomti Forest in the Newman local government area in Adamawa State by a Fulani herdsman known as Buba Bawuro. The herdsman had strayed into Mr. Jackson's farm with his animals, and after Mr. Jackson challenged him, he apparently pulled a knife and a fight ensued. He stabbed Mr. Jackson a couple of times, but he managed to retrieve the knife and to stab his attacker in the neck, whereupon he died. Mr. Jackson was arrested and charged with murder. He's consistently argued that it was self-defense. In 2021, he was found guilty by a court in Yola and condemned to death by hanging. And today, the Supreme Court in Abuja upheld that judgment. So he's now in a race for his life, and the only option left is to appeal for clemency from the governor of Adamawa State. So what hope does he now have of a reprieve?
Nigerians already have to provide their own security, electricity, infrastructure, and now they can't even defend themselves without being sentenced to death. And I think all of us should be very alarmed by this very unfortunate precedent. And the case is so clear because this man retrieved the knife of his attacker. So it wasn't his own knife. What happened to the charge of manslaughter? Because at the very worst, if he had to be charged with something, it would be manslaughter. He did not know that chap before that day. He couldn't have premeditated this. And now he's sentenced to death. He's exhausted all legal channels and is awaiting execution.
Sunday Jackson by anyone's estimation, is totally innocent. And the issue where this man was out farming, minding his own business, and then the attacker came and a struggle ensued. And of course, this man is going to defend himself. That's why we call it self-defense. And yet today, we were at the Nigerian Supreme Court, and it was very brief. It was only about maybe 2 minutes long. And we just wept at the failure of the Nigerian Supreme Court. But we had the opportunity to meet this humble farmer, this young man who unfortunately his wife abandoned him, had been on death row for 10 years. But there have been thousands of killings of Christians by Fulanis. Manslaughter at least, because murder one that he's being convicted of and may face hanging if we can't get clemency for him, it has to be premeditated. So what justice on the Nigerian Supreme Court, that didn't pop up and say to him or her, this is a case of self-defense and this man is totally innocent. So
they are arguing that he had a responsibility to flee. Now, in the US, we have, stand your ground rules, which means you can defend yourself as much as you want. Now, here, they're arguing that instead of fight, you should have flight, you should flee.
In other words, after he overpowered the man and retrieved the knife, there was no further need to stab him.
Yes, but that is not accurate, and I don't think that's a fair requirement to make to someone who is facing imminent death. Now, just the data alone of all the massacres that have occurred, he couldn't have known if there were more herdsmen on their way to kill him. He has seen reports of what these people do. This guy just stabbed him. And so to expect him to reasonably assume that to fulfill the conditions of the law he needed to flee made no sense. The attacker brought the knife, he overpowered him and took the knife after he sustained injuries. And this is why I have a problem. The evidence shows that he was injured in the leg. And then you say that he should have run. So he was at that moment momentarily incapacitated to even be able to run. There were no witnesses, but I mean, even the prosecution admitted that the weapon belonged to the attacker. The evidence, he had scars on his body of the injuries he sustained.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome back. Now, you have listened to this video. Just to break it a little bit, this man, Mr. Sunday Jackson, went to his farm and he was attacked by a Fulani man. A Fulani man brought his cattle into Mr. Sunday Jackson's farmland. And Mr. Sunday Jackson said, no, don't come and destroy the source of my livelihood. But the Fulani man decided to attack him with a knife, and the Fulani man stabbed him, but he was able to overpower the Fulani man, and he collected the knife, and he fought back, and at the end, he was able to kill the Fulani man. And today, the Supreme Court of Nigeria has passed a judgment that Mr. Sunday Daniel should be killed for killing the Fulani herdsman. Now, look at this judgment. A lot of herdsmen have been wiping out villages of Northern Christians. In Benue State, in Kaduna State, Southern Kaduna State, in Plateau State, every day these people are wiping out Christians, farmers, in hundreds. And this government of Nigeria has done nothing for the Christians that are being wiped out. Now, whenever the Christians stand to defend themselves, that is when the government will come and prosecute the Christians for murder. Now, the government of Nigeria is a Fulani hegemony that has held the government. That the entire country is afraid that they do whatever they want to do, they do whatever, they get away with whatever they want to get away with. And you dare not touch a Fulani. Or how can you say a man who defended himself is a Fulani man that came with a knife? Is a Fulani man that came to the man's farmland? First of all, is a Fulani man that came to the man's farmland to destroy the man's farmland. for standing and saying his farmland cannot be destroyed. And the Fulani man is the one that brought the weapon. And the Fulani man stabbed him with the weapon. And today, they are saying when he was able to collect the weapon, he should have gotten away. How can somebody you have been stabbed on the leg, how can you get away? How can you even allow the Fulani man, and he gets away with being wounded, when the Fulani man follow him and finish him up? And today, they are saying for not standing and running away, that this man should be killed. Now, this is the plight and the persecution that the Northern Christians are being subjected to. And it's not right. What kind of country is this? They brag that Nigeria is an Islamic state. They brag, and now they get the government, they get the National Assembly, they get the courts, all to persecute Christians? Is that right? What kind of kangaroo judgment is this? I am telling you, they can't do this thing to a Yoruba man. They can't even dare. This kind of judgment cannot be passed to a Yoruba man, or the country will boil. Even an Igbo man, Igbos that say they are marginalized, this kind of judgment cannot be passed against an Igbo man. The real people who are really suffering in this Nigeria of today are the Northern Christians. Check. They are the ones that are being killed. Being killed, being wasted. In villages, somebody will just come and wipe out hundreds. Is the Northern Christians. Now, if Fulani life is so much precious and so much important, than the life of other person is not important, but the life of Fulani man is like you touch Fulani man, you touch a god, a kind of a god. Why are they not arresting Hausa people? Because right now, Hausa people are forming vigilante to protect themselves and to fight against Fulani. And the Hausa people are killing Fulani. Yes. In their quest to protect themselves from the attack of Fulani. Hausa man, even though Fulani kills Hausa, Hausa kills Fulani. But that is okay. But when it comes to the Northern Christian in the Middle Belt, that is not okay. It is not a government, or you stand and be killed by Fulani, or you run and allow Fulani to waste the entirety of your livelihood, or if you stand and defend yourself and defend your livelihood, the government will now kill you. My people, is that right? Is that right? This is not right. I don't know what is happening. I don't know what is happening. We are just now in some northern states, they say Northern Christian students will not go to school because Northern people are fasting. If Northern people want to take their children from school, why would they take their children from school? Why would they allow Christian students not to be in school? School has a curriculum. It's a curriculum that is being followed. They now look at breaks that have been put in accordance to the curriculum of education of Nigeria. They now say breaks are for Christians. What concerns Christians with holidays of school, with school holidays? The Muslims now will now truncate a school session. A school session has been truncated because the Muslims are saying because holidays are Christian holidays, school holidays are Christian holidays. Does it make sense? They have now truncated school session. And they said we have the entirety of Northern Christians are just annihilated, and the government cannot do anything. In fact, the government now is the one persecuting Christians. So we are demanding for unconditional release of this man. We can't just fold our hands and watch an innocent man because they want to pacify Fulani. to pacify Fulani. So the fear of Fulani now is the wisdom of Nigeria. You either pacify Fulani or Nigeria will scatter. So you pacify Fulani by victimizing and murdering middle belt Christians? Oh, come on. Come on, what is happening now is disheartening. I'm telling you, I don't even know what to say. But this case should not be allowed to stand. This man, to the highest court of the nation, has ordered everywhere in the world. Everybody said, if the anointing is that it's murder. They tried him for murder, not even for manslaughter. You're on your farmland. Somebody is the one that came to your farmland. He's the one that came with the weapon. He's the one that stabbed you first. And at the end, God gave you the opportunity to overpower him. And you are not tried for manslaughter. You are tried for murder. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. I'm even laughing at this. I'm telling you, it's disheartening. And we ask for the reverse of this case. Let this innocent man go.